Guys, my name is Vignesh Kharve, today's host, and we have something interesting planned for you guys. But before jumping to the interview, I would like to thank our sponsors, Element Life. So, Element Life is India's first cosmetic brand. If you need anything like that, the link is in the description below. Now, jumping back to the interview again, today we have someone who will explain us the fitness aspect of cricket and how important and how everything has changed throughout the whole game. We would like to call upon Vishal Chitrakar, who is the current Mumbai Ranji Trophy Strength and Conditioning Coach. Sir. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
Thank you, Vignesh, for having me here.
So now let's talk about the Mumbai Ranji campaign that you had this year. तो ये साल मुंबई रणजी टीम फाइनल्स में आई थी. Until the semi-finals, आपने इतना domination किया था that no other team had the chance. But just unfortunately, you guys missed out on the championship. But otherwise, throughout the 19, 16, 23 and Ranji Trophy as well, मुंबई ने बहुत अच्छा performance किया है. And so, what are your thoughts on that? What's the personal feeling for you?
So the feeling is great. Definitely, it could have been even wonderful to have finished as a champion, but that doesn't discredit what amount of preparation has went throughout the season. It was also a great experience for me, also being the first season for me with this Ranji team, and like it was a clear experience of how a team can go places when we play together. And that was something that was really stood out for myself as well as my team also. That was one thing wonderful.
That's great, sir. And do you think जो आप off field जो training करते हो gym में running sessions whatever that you do, how important is that for the Ranji Trophy team and how did it display on the field? What was the main thing that made a huge difference?
So I summarize this as like the importance of strength and conditioning, like how we carry it to the field, and that's what the whole purpose of your training should be. कि जो भी हम लोग training करते हैं, that should be able to transfer towards your athletic performance. That's where whatever you are doing in your gym or whatever running you are doing, that's where it is really effective. इसलिए वहाँ पे बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रोल रहता है कि आप अपना ट्रेनिंग किस तरह से प्लान कर रहे हो. It shouldn't be just a few random things which are put together and you're training and you're saying that you're training. वो आपके डिमांड्स, वो आपके नीड्स को सेटिस्फाई करना चाहिए, तभी जाके वो अपने परफॉर्मेंस में दिखने वाला है जो आप ग्राउंड पे करने वाले. That's what the whole purpose should be.
Agreed, sir. Now, before jumping into your career as a strength and conditioning coach, आप पहले क्रिकेट खेलते थे क्या? Before becoming a coach, what was the specialty?
So I have played at A division in Mumbai club cricket, A division club cricket as well as corporate trophies also like Time Shield I played in, and that I would say that has added to experience as an S&C coach also, knowing what the demands of the game are. And as a player also I have enjoyed my time as a player in the tough Mumbai circuit, because that actually prepares you to know what the player goes through when you are competing at the standard of A division cricket. So you know what the player is going through, what emotions, what preparation physically they need to do to sustain at that top level. So definitely experience as a player in Mumbai circuit has helped.
That's right. So जब भी आप क्रिकेट खेलते थे and right now as a coach, so there must be a span of a few years. So ये इतने सालों में how has cricket changed and how especially fitness has changed cricket according to you? What do you think?
Okay. So like currently new formats have came up. So like when we were playing, we started the game, there were primarily two formats, the 50-over format and the days format. That was like say around like 10 to 15 years ago. And the main T20 advent happened since 2007-2008, जहाँ पे IPL जब से चालू हो गया. So different format coming in, game getting even more quicker. So हर एक गेम के फॉर्मेट का डिमांड्स चेंज होते गया. So accordingly fitness levels भी चेंज होते गया. You cannot expect to play a days tournament at the capacity of your T20 tournament. At the same time, T20 tournament ka demands alag hai, when you need to be constantly powerful, you need to be able to run fast for longer durations, whatever the duration of the game is, T20 ka. So the demands are shaping up, and that's why the athletes need to be ready as per the game they are going to play. That has changed a bit. Specificity has changed, and that's why more and more players should be looking to train themselves in a manner which is suitable to each format of the game.
Right. Right. So, and what do you think are the basic fitness levels that a cricketer requires?
So if you ask about a basic fitness level, it's first of all, when we conduct any fitness testings, so a testing battery is made for a particular sport. Say there is a football, there is a basketball, tennis, cricket. So majorly there are a few certain tests which are necessary to assess your strength, your speed, your endurance capacity, your power capacities. So when you see, totally all these factors are to be considered, and a player needs to be developing his athletic capacities in each of these aspects.
Right.
So you have to take that as a whole and see how it is contributing towards your game to make it better on field. Because जैसे अभी just previous question में हम लोग ने देखा कि जो भी training कर रहे हो, it should be contributing towards your game, and that's where it is going to be useful. So if you ask what actually the fitness parameters or what actually fitness demands the player needs to get strong in, first get yourself assessed with a good professional. See where do you lack in any of these qualities: strength, your speed, your endurance, your power. Develop a plan accordingly,
Right.
which will help you to translate that training into your real match time performance.
Right. And
that should be the areas which actually a player should be looking in, like the ability to execute a certain skill for longer, different formats. जो हम लोगों ने देखा, adaptability is the key. Different formats के हिसाब से adapt होने के लिए your body and your mind needs to be strong enough and adaptable enough. That is the main thing.
And और एक बात करते हैं कि जो भी हम लोग फिटनेस ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, फिजिकलिटी ऑफ योर बॉडी, हाउ डज दैट make sure that your mentality, जो भी mental state है एक player का, how does it affect? Are there positive effects, are there negative effects? What do you think?
So it's a deep question. You need to understand that both go hand in hand. To see at a complete athletic well-being, you cannot say that I'm just working on physical aspects or I'm just working on mental aspects, because both are going to be intertwined, and training for your body needs your mind to be disciplined.
Right.
That's where the major difference is going to happen. It's not like you get motivated and you train for 2 weeks and then the next 2 weeks you break down. You have to make a certain plan which you can execute consistently, persistently over a period of time. And that's where your mind needs to be strong enough. Your mind needs to be ready to go through that grind, because it's not different from what you need in your skills. Even in skills, if you take, you need a certain discipline. Say you're a batsman, you need to have the discipline to play that 1 hour of the first day of a test match, say, wherein you have to negotiate a swinging ball. You need to have the discipline to leave the ball, wait for the right ball to score your runs. Similarly, you need the discipline to come out of your bed. Similarly, you need the discipline to appear for the sessions consistently, even when it's raining or you might be feeling a bit of lazing around. You have to make sure that you turn out daily, and that's what builds your mind also.
Right.
So both go hand in hand, and definitely when your physique starts to show the results of your training, you also start to feel good about yourself. That's where the confidence also adds up. Your mental state becomes much more calm, and that translates to your performance. So it's both way, like the way we are saying, your training, your physical training should translate to your performance. Similarly, your mind training should translate to your performance.
Right.
That's where both work hand in hand, and each thing like feeds off each other.
Right, sir. Great. And now अभी हम लोग जैसे ऑफ सीजन में है तो 3-4 months there are no on field activities, but off field activities जैसे working out, training, working on your technique as well, ऐसे सब players कर सकते हैं. So according to you as a strength and conditioning coach, what can be done as a player to improve their physical well-being during the off season mostly?
Okay. So I would tell this from experience. First, understand that off season is just one part of your complete season. You cannot say that I'm going to train for this 3 or 4 months, which is monsoon or off season, and then leave it for the next whole year.
Right.
Because whole year you're going to play matches. And so your training also needs to be adapted accordingly. Most important thing is to get yourself a professional who can actually plan your workout, plan how you should go for your sessions. Because if you're planning to play as a professional, you need to train professionally. You need to train in a right manner, which is going to contribute towards your game. It's not going to be like, ये training है, ये running है, so मैं उसको कैसे भी करूँगा. एक ही दिन में I have seen a few players who do like different forms of exercise in a single day. They do running, they do long distance running, they do sprinting, then in the evening they practice and again go to gym work. It's all, and when you ask why, because that's what hard work is. So you have to understand the difference between hard work and a work which is not going to give you results. This is just overwork. You're just overloading in a mindless manner. So that's where a professional can help you to design your plan for off season, for in season. You need to be able to sustain whatever you have gathered, whatever you have accomplished in your off season throughout the seasons to remain injury free,
Right.
to perform better. So understand your skill, get yourself a professional, track your workload, because that's what a professional will come in. Don't overdo. As I said, 4 sessions in a day. Don't overdo. That's not going to give you any productive results. Understand the demands of your game. Understand the demands of your position. As a bowler, you need to train in a certain way. As a wicketkeeper, you need to train in a certain way. Batter, you need to train in a certain way. Understand those demands. Speak with a professional. Plan out your entire structure for a season, not just off season. And then you, if you stick to it consistently, you will be through.
Right. Right. So how can a player coming into the season, तो अभी अगर ऑफ सीजन के लास्ट 1 month और so है, just approaching the season, कांगा लीग का सीजन स्टार्ट होने वाला है. So what is the transition phase? वहाँ पे I have seen a lot of players struggling कि मेरा ये नहीं, I'm just suffering from injury. So what is that stage and how a player can counter that?
As I said, your workload is very important. So even if you say Kanga League, you can, in Mumbai cricket, it usually falls in our off season.
Right.
That's the monsoon. But still, it's a very competitive atmosphere when you're competing in a Kanga League, as most of the performance gets noticed, and which eventually place you in a position to get selected for MCA teams. So if you see the structure of Kanga League, it's happening over the weekend, Sundays. So you need to train yourself in a way wherein you are at your optimum best on that day, Sunday.
Right.
So it's not like in season wherein you are playing, say, a 3-day time shield, which was the earlier case. When we were playing, or even currently, we had 2 days of, say, Purushottam Shield or I guess Comrade Shield, and immediately followed by 3 days of time shield. So you just had a, I guess, Monday and a Friday, which were off days. So you need to be more than recovered for the matches than training. You needed to have that certain kind of training going in that session, in that season. But in Kanga League, you have that 6-day window for you, wherein you can train hard, wherein you can train smartly, you can recover in a better way, and keep yourself in an optimum shape to compete at the weekend. Right. So it again boils down to working with a right person or right S&C coach, right sports medicine team, sports science team who can help you structure it, not overdo yourself.
Right, sir. So like you said, आपने जैसे कहा कि सैटरडे संडे पुरुषोत्तम गेम, देन मंडे एक दिन ऑफ, फिर ट्यूसडे ट्यूसडे वेडनेसडे थर्सडे ऐसे 3 दिन वापस टाइम शीट, देन फ्राइडे ऑफ, देन अगेन अ गेम on the weekends. So how can a player manage their workload? Like what do you think can be done according to just a simple advice for them?
So most important thing is recovery, first of all, when you're playing in such kinds of schedule, because you are getting 2 off days. And majorly, see, being in season, the amount of skill work which you are going to do is going to be high. As a bowler, if you're saying as a bowler, the workload is going to be tremendous if you're playing every game. So it becomes very important that you track the number of overs you're bowling. That's where the workload comes in. So if I go into depth, it's about things about how internally your workload is and what the external workload is. So external workload is said the number of balls you're bowling. That is very important. The number of balls which you're bowling is very important. Intrinsically, how you're feeling after this session is very important. You have to keep track of it. On say lighter days, if you can manage at least say one basic strength session,
Right.
if manageable, that's what I'm saying. So again, there comes the role of a professional who can guide you with that. Wherein say a certain week your workload was low, you can have a quick session of say strength and power, which can help you maintain your workload or maintain your strength levels in your body, which is very important. Major thing is to stay injury free, because if you want to perform, you need to participate in the match. First thing. And if you're injured, you're not going to participate in the match. So the question of performance is ruled out if you're injured. So major thing is to stay injury free, to make sure you track your workload so that you know when can you push for that one extra session. Get your recovery done right, your food done right, because food forms a major part of your recovery. Your sleep forms a major part of your recovery. That's how you can structure your schedule during these games. You're like back to back time shield hai, 2 days ka, so you have like 2 days of recovery. So just identify the days wherein you feel that you can put, and that's where your previous training also comes in. Because say if you're a newbie and if you try to train when your workload is high, you're going to crash. Okay. That's why a routine needs to be set. कि say समझो off season में आप 3 to 4 sessions a week कर रहे थे. So you are able to handle that workload during your in season. कि at least 8 session you can do. Right. And you won't crash. Rather, you will feel stronger about yourself. Right. There are certain kinds of sessions which you can do in season, which are not primarily focused on strength. It can be just rehabilitative exercises. It can be just recovery based exercises. But just make sure that you go to the gym, which helps you to sustain yourself throughout that longer season. Right. That's the most important part. Right, sir. And आपने जैसे recovery के ऊपर बहुत stress किया है, especially during the season. And so just like recovery, so sleep, the rehab sessions, how important is diet? According to how important is diet? Sorry, the diet. Yeah. Okay. So I can just ask you one simple question of this. How you might be training for just 1 hour of the day. Right. How many hours are there in the day? 24 in total. So what do you do for the next 23 hours? Work, eat, relax, etc. Yeah. That's what is going to impact the results of your training, the results of your skill work. Right. What you do for the remaining 23 hours. Was kitna bhi acha program रहेगा. Say if I bring you the training program of a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Virat Kohli, but that will be for 1 hour. What happens after that? The next 23 hours. Are you getting your adequate sleep? Are you eating right? Because those are the things which are going to actually impact your performance. If you eat any junk, You train hard, you train consistently, you come every day, you come. But if you're eating in a like unstructured way, your sleep is unstructured, then trust me, you're going haywire. It's not going to impact your performance in a way it should. So your food assumes very importance. Understand the basics of your food. Basics remain the same. Map out your carbohydrates which you're eating, map out your proteins which you're eating. Make sure you're eating at right intervals, because as a sportsman, it is very important that you eat at right time. That is important. Before game, post game, before training, post training, during training. That is very important. Map that out. If you sort that out, if you stick to it consistently with discipline, you should be through.
Right, sir. And one last question to you. एक छोटा सा message दीजिए whatever our viewers, especially the cricketers who want to become cricketer and who want to represent India. What is one message that you would give to them?
Okay. So I won't talk about representing India at this moment. For listeners, it's very important to have that vision of playing at the highest level, definitely. But take one step at a time. Work towards discipline of setting right routines. Speak with players who have done that. Speak with coaches who have done that. Set right routines, maintain a discipline. Motivation will help you to get started, but your consistency and your persistence towards doing those same routine day in, day out, it can get boring. But again, it's doing those boring things which will make your life easier when you complete. So that's the takeaway message. Aim high, but make sure your routines stay grounded and you're doing them consistently.
That's sir, and thank you so much for chatting with us. And we wish you all the very best for future ventures. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Vignesh. It was nice talking to you.